FCRC. Before we get started with today's proceedings, I'd like to confirm that everyone can hear me clearly. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Today's meeting is being held via Microsoft Teams conference call, and we ask that all attendees announce their name on the record each time they speak on the call for ease of transcription. If you're not speaking, we ask that you mute your microphone to avoid background noises during the call. Only one person should be speaking at any given time. I will direct should there be any conflict. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. My name is Beth Chu, Chair for the FCRC. The Franchise and Concession Review Committee remote public meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor,
Beth Chu here.
Office of the Mayor,
Julie Bureau, present.
Comptroller,
John Katsouris, here.
Corporation Counsel,
Sharon Cantor, present for calendar item number 1.
I'm Rita Barth, present for calendar item number 2.
Office of Management and Budget, Office of Management and Budget,
Yvonne Kintian, present.
President, Borough of the Bronx,
Mirtha Camille Sabio for Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., present.
President, Borough of Brooklyn,
Tanya Cantlow for Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams.
President, Borough of Manhattan,
Rosie Mendez, present on behalf of Gail Brewer, Manhattan Borough President.
President, Borough of Queens,
Alan Swisher for Queensborough President Donovan Richards.
President, Borough of Staten Island,
Stephen Caracappa for Borough President James Otto.
Will the clerk please call the first calendar item?
New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, calendar item number 1, in the matter of the intent to seek Franchise and Concession Review Committee approval to utilize a different procedure pursuant to Section 1-16 of the Concession Rules of the City of New York to negotiate a sole source license agreement with Statue Cruises LLC for the operation and maintenance of passenger ferries for the purpose of embarking and discharging passengers on a regular schedule between the Battery, Liberty Island, and Ellis Island, and for the purpose of embarking and discharging passengers of vessels on sightseeing cruises and other ferry operations, which may include, but are not limited to, day and night charters of vessels owned, operated, or chartered by Statue Cruises LLC at landing slips and adjacent walkways located in the Battery, Manhattan.
Is there a member who wishes to make a statement or ask a question on this matter? If not, will a member please make a motion to move this item?
Sharon Cantor on the item.
Will another member please second the motion?
Julie Bureau, seconded.
Will the clerk please take the vote?
Mayor,
Beth Chu, yes.
Office of the Mayor,
Julie Bureau, yes.
Comptroller,
John Katsouris, yes.
Corporation Counsel,
Sharon Cantor, yes.
Office of Management and Budget.
Yvonne Kintian, yes.
On behalf of the Borough Presidents, President, Borough of Manhattan,
Rosie Mendez, yes.
calendar item number 1, resolution is adopted.
Will the clerk please call the second calendar item?
New York City Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, calendar item number 2, in the matter of the intent to seek Franchise and Concession Review Committee approval regarding a proposed Third Amendment to a public communication structure franchise agreement between the City of New York and CityBridge LLC that will, among other things, modify the rights and responsibilities of the parties, including, among other things, 1. Modification of construction, installation, and siting requirements applicable to CityBridge. 2. Permitting certain new and retrofit designs for public communication structures, subject to all approvals, including but not limited to design approval by the Public Design Commission. 3. Adding the installation of mobile telecommunications equipment as an ancillary service, subject to requirements in the amendment. 4. The removal of public pay telephones installed on or before April 30th, 2014. 5. Modification of CityBridge's minimum investment commitments. 6. Modification of requirements regarding compensation payable to CityBridge to the city. And 7. Modification to advertising space available to the city for its own use.
Is there a member who wishes to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
John Katsouris from the Controller's Office. I'd like to ask a question of Dewitt, please.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. So Dewitt mentions in its responsibility determination documentation that, quote, CityBridge has faced an inability to make its required payments and maintain its build-out schedule due to the unanticipated financial challenges, end quote. While this Third Amendment is intended to address some of the issues, Dewitt's responsibility determination also mentions the planned withdrawal of Qualcomm from the consortium that makes up CityBridge. In light of Qualcomm's planned departure from this consortium, can Dewitt please confirm that it still maintains its position that CityBridge is a responsible franchisee?
Hi, it's Jessica Tisch. I do.
Thank you. I have no further questions or statements.
Do any other members wish to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
This is Stephen Caracappa from the Staten Island Borough President's Office. I have a brief statement whenever.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my fellow FCRC members, Ox and Dewitt, for their time and opportunity to let me speak. With Staten Island set to receive the highest number of new link structures under this amendment, we want to express our opposition on the record. We strongly believe in this initiative. However, an RFP should be issued in order to select a qualified vendor. CityBridge has substantially breached his contract by recklessly overstating potential revenue, then threatening to take all current links offline, leaving the commission with little choice but to vote in favor of the amendment. This sets poor precedent for other city vendors and licensees. Fundamentally, we all agree and believe in the project, and that a public-private partnership is the best way to get there. However, CityBridge is not that partner, and we need a new RFP. Thank you.
Are there any other members who wish to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
Yes, this is Tanya Cantlow from the Brooklyn Borough President's Office. I'd like to make a statement.
Sure, please go ahead.
So the primary focus of this renegotiated deal must be on closing the digital divide that exists in New York City. Expanding Link NYC to include 5G cellular technology is welcome, but it must expand access to all New Yorkers in all 5 boroughs. Whether it is access to telehealth services, online education resources, job training, job searching, or real-time information regarding public services, the digital divide has real-world consequences. According to the New York City Internet Master Plan, 18% of New York City residents do not have access to a home or mobile internet connection. This proposal, in coordination with the recently announced $157 million capital investment in broadband access, will help to bring more people to the positive side of the divide. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown how deeply this digital divide affects the daily lives of every New York City resident. The importance of access to broadband technology is only going to grow in the coming months and years. Access to technology should no longer be a barrier, and expanding 5G service is critical to reach that goal. In the agreement, there are sites in Community Boards 4, 9, 12, 16, totaling 147. We are requesting kiosks in Community Board 5, which is in East New York, and Community Board 18, which is in Canarsie. Thank you.
Are there any other members who wish to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
Yes.
This is Rosie Mendez. I've had my hand raised, so I don't know if we're using that function.
Sorry, we have been tracking that function, but please feel free to speak. Chairman permitting, Joe permitting rather.
Thank you. We would like to be associated with the comments of the Staten Island and the Brooklyn Borough President. You know, we've recently raised some issues of how these franchises might, and this deal might affect other franchises in the city. And we certainly have been dealing with the bus shelters here in Manhattan. And we've been trying to work with J.C. Deco and trying to get bus shelters in the outer boroughs as well, in the other boroughs. So we have some concern about how this might impact these other franchises and these other agreements. And I know it's a different agency, but the city really needs to be looking at this as a whole. You know, we also hope that Do It works with all of the boroughs. We understand they're going to try to tackle this digital divide, but working with the different borough presidents and the other elected officials to ensure that boroughs get the amount of towers and that they need in those boroughs. Thank you very much.
Are there any other members who wishes to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
Yes, the Bronx Borough President's Office wishes to make a statement.
Please go ahead.
Okay. We echo the concerns expressed by the representative of the Brooklyn Borough President. The Bronx Borough President commends and appreciates the hard work and tremendous effort that each party to this transaction put in to facilitate the renegotiation of this matter. It is clear that the amendment to the franchise is trying to land each side in a better position to ensure that every borough inches closer to a place of more equitable digital access for all New Yorkers. While this is laudable, we must admit, however, that again, the Bronx seems to be left behind and expected to make do with apparently less. While we are happy to see any representation in 3 of our neediest districts, the current total of committed kiosks slated for the Bronx is lower than we expected, and in fact, lower than any other borough in the city. Bronx Borough President Diaz hopes that going forward, this rollout will continue in earnest to be purposeful, strategic, and most of all inclusive of other areas in the Bronx, so that many more Bronxites are afforded the benefit of greater digital access and equity and the delivery of a vital resource pipeline that comes with it. Thank you.
Are there any other members who wish to make a statement or ask a question on this matter?
This is Alan Swisher from the Queensborough President's Office. So as not to be redundant of what my colleagues from the other borough president's offices have stated, I share their concerns, but my office is supportive of this amendment in light of the numerous benefits, because Borough President Richards is committed to closing the digital divide that exists in Queens, where many communities have insufficient options for reliable high-speed internet access, and that affects both residents and small businesses. So there's a lot to like in this amendment, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the real reason that we are here today to vote on this quote-unquote is because City Bridge failed to live up to its obligations under its existing agreement, and we really shouldn't be taking that lightly. You know, I also think that City Hall should be aware of the message that this sends to the other franchisees who are meeting their obligations under their agreements without any such breaks or concessions. But overall, I really want to thank Commissioner Tisch for working to find a viable path forward on this matter. And I do think that there's a lot to like in the amendment with respect to closing the digital divide.
Are there any other members who wish to make a statement or ask a question on this matter? Great. Well, thank you all for your questions and your statements. With that, will a member please make a motion to move this item?
Julie Bureau, motion to waive.
Will another member please second the motion?
Second.
Rita Barth, Law Department, a second.
Will the clerk please take the vote?
Mayor,
Beth Chu, yes.
Office of the Mayor,
Julie Bureau, yes.
Comptroller,
John Katsouris, yes.
Corporation Counsel,
Rita Barth, yes.
Office of Management and Budget.
Yvonne Kintian, yes.
On behalf of the Borough Presidents, President Borough of Queens.
Yes, but I would like the record to reflect that the Staten Island Borough President is not in support.
Thank you. Calendar item number 2, resolution is adopted. We ask that the reporter make the entire public meeting agenda, which was made publicly available and distributed at this meeting, part of the final record of this proceedings. That completes the calendar.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.